When your cat misbehaves, and I mean really misbehaves, it can be quite easy to lose your cool, especially if this misbehavior has left a mark, either on you physically or damage some property. Sort of like raising a child. In the face of the negative, it's always vital to keep your cool and stay positive. In this material, I will take you through a few notable things that you can implement for those moments when your cat's behavior is less than stellar. Interesting topic and hopefully a helpful topic. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Right there in the introduction, I mentioned keeping your cool and staying positive. Well, that's a mighty fine place to start this video. Like the title of this video states, always do this when your cat misbehaves. The this in the title, well, it's this. Keep your cool and stay positive. Just let it roll right off your shoulders, even when you don't really want to. Why? Well, keeping your cool can allow you to look at things for what they are. Staying positive can give you a clear mind where you're actually thinking logically rather than flying off the handle emotionally. Nothing in the situation, and even the notables that I'll speak on in this video, will even begin to work without keeping your cool. This is the most important thing. Always remember that you can't discipline a cat the way you would a child. You can't attempt to teach a cat a lesson on a moral or ethical level, explaining to them right from wrong, and the importance to do right. That's a lost cause when it comes to a feline. And getting emotional, raising your voice, getting angry, another lost cause. Ultimately, all that will really do is scare your cat, cause them great anxiety and perhaps a fear of you, and possibly leave them with an even greater desire to misbehave. Take a deep breath, take stock of the situation and relax. You'll be off to a good start with this solid mental foundation. Even in the midst of this misbehavior, your cat will be looking to you for comfort, as wild as that can seem at times. Even when your cat is upset, they're looking to you for that security. Sometimes cats will increase the negative acts or decrease the acts, depending on how you are behaving. If you're losing your cool, your cat could view that as a reason to continue to lose theirs. Always be the tone setter, the trend setter, and hope that your pet will follow your lead. Now, whether your cat has misbehaved or you're seeing the aftermath, whatever that entails, or you catch your cat in the midst of acting up, it's important to use the positive to discipline. You can achieve this by playing on your cat's basic instincts. Cats are hardwired to be curious and quite keen to their surroundings. When your cat is doing something wrong, bait them with a positive alternative, something they can still engage in or engage with that will meet their needs and wants, while stopping them from doing something that you find to be quite negative. I often go to the scratching post example. If you walk in to find your cat scratching your sofa, attempt to redirect them to the positive, that scratching post. Here again, no yelling or the yelling of no and attempting to tell your cat why they're wrong, raising your voice. It can really border on a fool's errand, quite honestly. They're just not going to understand. However, what they will understand is a positive alternative that is met with rewards. That's right. If your cat goes to the scratching post rather than your sofa, and you give them snack treats for doing so, this will help to reinforce that positive behavior. Cats are all about the what's in it for me mindset, at least more times than not. And as soon as your cat realizes that nothing positive comes from scratching your sofa, yet some pretty cool stuff is associated with that scratching post, it won't be long before your cat will want nothing to do with your sofa, at least in terms of scratching and tearing it up. It's not about making your cat understand right from wrong. It's getting your cat to do right based on your guidelines. Ultimately, it's not what they understand, it's what they do. Another way to get your cat to behave to your liking and be rather civil around the house is engagement, either direct positive engagement with you or solo time engagement with items and options that provoke both mental and physical stimulation. This plays even more on that scratching post example. Cats can misbehave for many reasons, and boredom is in fact one. If your cat is acting out, it could be due to the fact that there's simply nothing else to do. If your cat's life becomes a bit stale, they'll seek out their own exercise, their own entertainment. Of course, many times, if left to find their own enrichment, what your cat chooses, what any cat chooses, will often run contrary to what you want and how you want your pet to behave in your home. Make sure that your cat has all of the essentials, not just food, water, litter box, and a place to nap, but sources of positive enrichment and engagement, things designed for their benefit, things that will keep them out of the curious George mindset. Another way to handle your cat in a positive way and hopefully keep them from misbehaving in the future involves creating a home within your home for your pet. Your cat really has no clear rules, places where they can't go, then anything and everything is pretty much fair game. And this, in many times, is where cat owners, unfortunately, pay the price. Similar to some people, if you give them an inch, they'll do what? What's that old saying? If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, that's what. From the word go, if your cat starts meddling around, put a stop to it. No raising of the voice, just redirect your cat to something else. If you do this from the start, this will keep a bigger issue from developing later. You can send the message of no without actually yelling the word no. What your cat will learn as time goes on is where they should be, but more importantly, where they shouldn't be. It all comes back to the positives. If your cat knows that every time they do this, they get removed from a table, for example, and don't get treats or pets or playtime, then they'll just stop doing it. They know that jumping on that table, all it really gets them is a hard time. Do this early on. Enforce those boundaries. It's much easier to do this from the start than attempting to enforce those boundaries long down the line. And as we make the turn for home and close out this video, I want to stress the importance of maintaining respect, maintaining love, even when your cat does something rather unappealing. In parenting, it's common to send children to their rooms, some level of obvious discipline. But I mean, you can't exactly tell a cat to sit in the corner and think about what they've done, right? This point really speaks to the initial position of staying calm and keeping your cool. You have to think long term. You're attempting to build a bond of trust, and yelling at your cat, attempting to issue some type of scolding, that'll just take you 10 steps back, to be quite honest. It might feel right in that moment, but there's no teaching involved here, and certainly no trust being built. The very last thing you want is a loss of respect. If your cat ever starts to view you as the enemy, then you could have a mess on your hands. So many of the notables that I mentioned today, they won't work at all if your cat has it out for you personally. Cats don't recall small details like we do. They won't recall the color of your shirt you were wearing the day you yelled at them because they jumped on the bookcase. But they will likely recall the way they felt, the way you made them feel, that negative association. When dealing with your cat, the goal is to always leave any situation with a positive, to make your cat feel a positive connection. And even in the midst of discipline, the goal should always be about learning and training. Never use the negative to enforce the rules. Keep your cool, and your cat will grow to think that you're pretty cool. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, I'll now turn things over right to you. What plans, what agenda have you created for keeping your cat on that right track? A game plan where you can have less and less of those misbehaving moments. Is there some trick in the bag that you often use and have always found to be successful when it comes to eliminating negative behavior? Your thoughts and your stories in the comment section. As always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.